Good morning, guys, from Berlin. It's a very beautiful morning. We actually woke up a couple hours ago. We're actually gonna go get something to eat right now, a bite to eat before we start our morning. One thing that I'll actually have to say about Berlin is their transportation system is very convenient. Their bus systems are very cheap. It's about 2 to 3 euros. You could download an app and travel through there around the city. We had to do it through Uber, unfortunately, which is one of the most expensive ways to travel here. The reason for it is because we're actually away from the city center, which sucks, but either way, we're getting around, we're managing around, and after we get a little bite to eat, we're gonna start exploring the city of Berlin. We first visited the Oberbaum Bridge in Berlin, which is one of the city's popular landmarks and is often used for film shots. It also happens to be along our route to the eastern side of the famous Berlin Wall. So we're walking around the Berlin Wall, and the east side is definitely better maintained if you're trying to come here and visit. We're coming on a Sunday, so it's less packed with people. So I suggest if you do come visit, come on a Sunday. One of the things I forgot to mention was the tourist traps. If locals come to you and they're actually trying to sell you a piece of the Berlin Wall, it's most likely a scam. They probably picked it up somewhere, a rock, and spray painted it. So I think you should just, go to the ugly side of it and try seeing if you get an authentic one yourself. But if they try to come up to you and sell you one, it's probably not the real thing. So one of the coolest ways to travel, obviously, is by the scooter, the electric one. But if you want to hang loose around with your friends, as you can tell, they're all the way back there. Definitely rent one. We headed to the Berlin Cathedral on our electric scooters, about 2 miles away. If you're walking, it may take 20 minutes, but the scooters cut the time by at least half. It also adds some fun to sightseeing around the park, and also get a glimpse of the Berlin TV tower. So now we're taking a little pit stop right in front of the cathedral and their famous currywurst. And it's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm. It's basically a sausage marinated in barbecue. Sprinkle of curry, but it's really good.
So after we finished eating, we went ahead and visited the Berlin Cathedral. Now, if you're interested to see the cathedral from the inside, you could pay an admission fee. But we decided to go to the outside area of the cathedral in the grassy area to sit down and relax and hear some live performers. The vibe was so laid back that we hung out for a couple of hours until the sunset. It's worth passing by during the weekend to experience the ambience. Now, once the night came, we went to the Polar Expedition Ice Bar, which is a unique bar experience with an isolated area made of ice. The admission was about 28 euros, and it includes 3 drinks, whether you choose to pick a beer, cocktails, or shots. When it's the designated time to enter the ice bar, you will have to wear a coat to tolerate the -10-degree weather. We tried not to stand still and took a shot to keep us warm. Later in the night, we headed out to a nightclub. But on the way there, we crossed paths with a performer playing techno in an alleyway that drew a large crowd. When we made our way through, we arrived at the Matrix Nightclub. So we just got into the Matrix Club, and it's actually pretty cool because it's under a train station and it has 5 floors of different music. So we're really excited to actually go inside here and actually see what's all about. This place is open 365 days a year and offers a lot of mainstream music. So the party never stops. So if you're not sure what music they're playing, go ahead and go to their website and check out their daily music events. So if you're visiting Berlin by any chance, come check this place out and see for yourself. Alright, so we just got out of the Matrix, which was a whole experience for us. To get in for guys is 15, women are 10 euros. And they display that they have 5 rooms, but honestly, they only portrayed 2.
I think we only saw 2.
We only saw 2, honestly. And what else do you want to speak about it?
Touristy.
It's very touristy. It's open for everybody. There's no restrictions. It's really nice to go in, and the experience out there is once in a lifetime. So if you can go to it, please do. I highly recommend it. John?
So, Matrix, it's awesome. Cheap drinks, cheap funds. Cheap thrills.
Cheap funds and cheap thrills. So
It was fun. No, honestly, it was really fun. Matrix, it was, even though it's like a tourist spot, but it was really fun.
Definitely touristy.
definitely check it out while you're in Berlin. It was probably close to 3 in the morning when we left the nightclub, but we were still somehow energetic enough to ride scooters on our way back home. Our next stop was the beautiful town of Garmisch-Partenkirchen, near the border of Austria. We ventured out to see the scenic lake Eibsee for the price of €5 in parking. It's surrounded by nature and its peaceful getaway from the crowds. So there's a hiking trail on this lake, Eibsee, and it's 5 miles to go around the whole entire lake. It's pretty nice because you're gonna see a lot of dogs, a lot of people. Right now it's, what are we, Tuesday? So Tuesday, September, so it's not that packed, which is good. If you want to take a nice little drone shot, take it from the back. But you didn't hear that from me. So we just got back to our Airbnb from the lake Eibsee in Garmisch, and this place is beautiful, honestly. This is a hidden gem inside of Germany. We're actually now gonna go to their famous street right across from our Airbnb, so this is very nice. In the heart of Garmisch-Partenkirchen lies a picturesque street called Ludwigstrasse. It's a historic strip of restaurants and shops lined along the cobblestone, giving it a Bavarian feel. And we ate dinner at one of their restaurants to try out some local authentic food. Speaking of Bavaria, you can also check out my Oktoberfest video if you plan on visiting Munich while you're in Germany to get some tips on what to know before you go. The next morning, we headed out on a 1-hour drive to our next location, which it might be a little familiar to a lot of people, which is the famous Neuschwanstein Castle. Yeah, Try saying that 3 times in a row. This was Walt Disney's inspiration for many of his castles.
So, we're on the trail for Neuschwanstein Castle.
She said it because I cannot.
It's 10 euros to park in the lot, and you can take either a horse carriage, which I don't think I saw the price.
We didn't see the prices for the horse carriage, so we decided to hike it.
Yeah, and you can take a bus as well if you want, from the bus stop at the bottom to, I believe it's the bridge. If you were to do the full hike, I think it's 4.6 miles total. But we're not gonna do the full hike though.
Yeah, we're not doing that. It's a little too long for us. Especially how looking like this guy right here, about to die.
We just started.
So once you actually arrive here, there's actually some lockers right behind me that you could rent out. Since you can't actually go inside with any cameras, since they forbid it, due to the nature of what it looks like. A lot of people have been telling me that it doesn't look that nice inside. Only the outside is what's best, and we're just gonna check out the outside of it. The surrounding environment is beautiful, so take your time and enjoy while you're here. The construction of this castle took almost 2 decades to build, and it was erected on the site of 2 former castles. It did incorporate many elements of the earlier structures, including some of the walls and foundation. The next morning we drove off to our last destination, which was Rothenburg, which we did a little bit of improv on our drive there.
Yo, what up, girls? Wanna introduce you to this girl. Think I really love this girl. Yeah, man, she's so fine. Straight up dog. She's stand up.
And yes, we did this for 3 hours. So we just reached our last stop of our trip in Germany, which is Rothenburg. This place is a hallmark for pictures. The town square is the best place to take pictures, and honestly, you could just walk around and look at all the different architecture that they have. It's kind of like a medieval vibe to it, which is really nice. Rothenburg has become very touristy over the years, but don't let that stop you from coming to this town. It is well known for having preserved buildings, colorful houses from medieval times. You can stroll down the alleyways to have peaceful walks and take picturesque photos in its most famous spot. There's also many cafe shops around the town or in the town square that you could choose from, which we had some warm pastries to keep us going. So if you're looking to travel to Germany, make sure to visit some scenic spots, historic locations, and grab some food to go along with that pint-sized beer. Just don't forget to bring along some friends that make the experience worthwhile. Thanks again for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button, and jump in with me next time on Jump In Travels.